With constantly changing public health guidelines and massive amounts of misinformation, it's hard for anyone to really understand the news around COVID-19. For kids, the news cycle can feel even more complex.
Some kids love to have all the information. Other kids, the simplest of answers will do.
Experts, news outlets, and even Vice President Pence's daughter are working to create kid-centered news programs.
So I want to do something that was going to explain a little bit what we were hearing in press briefings every day and on the news.
Charlotte Pence Bond started Little's News Briefing as a YouTube series and podcast to teach kids about COVID-19.
We have kids calling in or sending videos in from all over the country. So I want to make sure I'm not just telling them, what the federal guidelines are and telling them to go to their state websites and figure out what that is.
The series is produced by the conservative media outlet Ricochet, and while Vice President Pence does make an appearance in the first episode, Little's news briefing is independent from the White House.
I gotta tell you, Ava, I don't think you need to worry about the tooth fairy.
New series like Snapchat's Will from Home or NBC's Nightly News Kids Edition are also responding to the need to inform younger children about the pandemic. Other organizations like the News Literacy Project are bolstering the resources they've been developing for years.
So in the spring of 2016, we launched something called the Checkology Virtual Classroom. This is the News Literacy Project's e-learning platform, where we have now 13 lessons hosted by different subject matter experts guiding students through topics in news literacy.
In response to the pandemic, the News Literacy Project dropped its paywall for self-quarantined parents, teachers, and students. The organization notes news literacy is especially important now because of the intense public curiosity and misinformation about COVID-19. Beyond news literacy concerns, advocates at Save the Children say better informing kids can help them cope, too.
Remind your child that this is why we're not going to school. This is why we're washing our hands. All of those messages that we've heard ad nauseum at this point are actually really helpful for the child to understand that they have some control over this themselves.
Casey Mendoza, Newsy, Chicago.